Welcome to another sunrise and sunset with Shell video. Today we're going to talk about having an eagle perspective. When I'm talking about an eagle's perspective, I want you to understand a couple of things about the eagle first. The first thing is, I don't know if you know this, but eagles can be almost 9 feet wide. When they're spreading their wings out from side to side, it can be 9 feet. That is a huge bird. They fly 3 to 4 miles in the air, just as high as airplanes. They can see a mile away. I'm just thankful that eagles don't hunt humans because we would be gone quick. Can you imagine being able to see a mile away? To fly a mile up in the air and still be able to see and get around? That perspective, that viewpoint, that's where the 30,000 viewpoint came from, is having the eagle perspective, where you can see everything. You know what's happening. You understand how everything works together. You have clarity on what's going on and where you're going. You have your eyes set on something. And like that eagle, that's an eagle eye. If you think about it, the eagle is represented on money in almost every country. If you think about, look at our currency, and you see the eagle there holding the arrows and representing having that perspective to see things before they happen. Because when you have an overview or a broad view, 30,000 foot view, you can see things before they happen because you can watch them. You're able to observe and say, that person doesn't stop what they're doing. That's not going to end well. In a business, when you have that 30,000 foot view, you understand how your funnels work, how customer acquisition works, how customer retention and acquisition works. All of those things work together. And you understand that because you have an overview of everything. When you look at yourself, do you have that same view? Are you thinking like the eagle? Are you taking a look at everything that is available to you? Taking it all in, observing everyone, everything, every place that you go, and seeing, am I maximizing my potential? Am I maximizing my options? Because we all have options given to us every day. We all have a perspective. The question is, do you have the eagle's perspective or the chicken's perspective? I don't like to use chickens. I prefer to say pigeons. Because pigeons, they walk around, they're clucking like chickens. They have their head down. They're all huddled together. And I call it the gossip group. But you know those types of people that they're going to huddle together. All of them have to think the same, dress the same, act the same. And they all have the same type of life. But when you have an eagle viewpoint, eagles fly solo. They fly high. They have the ability to still see the ground just like the chicken that clucks and has his head down. The difference is with the chicken only flies when it's scared. An eagle soars, and it is not afraid to soar alone. Are you huddled with people that aren't going anywhere? Do you have people in your life that are holding you down with their limiting beliefs and their values? And if you don't think like them, act like them, dress like them, do what they say do, or what they deem as normal, then you don't fit in. Are you more concerned with fitting in than you are with rising above and actually reaching your full potential? Because as hard as it is to say it, yes, we all do. We need society. We need social engagement. All of that stuff is important. But when it comes to your dream, it was given to you and only you. As Les Brown said, the richest place on earth is the cemetery. Why? Because the cemetery is full of dreams, ideas, inventions that died with that person because they were afraid to stand up on their own and soar. They needed the validation and the acknowledgement of others more than they needed to make their dream a reality. I want you to really think about having the perspective of an eagle. It's cool to soar by yourself sometimes. I'm not saying all the time, every day. You just want to have that perspective where, hey, I'm not limited by the people that I hang with or by my racial ethnicity. I'm not hindered by my religion. I'm not hindered by my political beliefs. I can sit down and have a conversation with anyone, and we can sit in dialogue and we can talk and we can work together, because for me, that is more important than fitting in. That is the number one reason why most people never reach their full potential. They're more concerned with fitting in than they are with making their dream a reality. When you talk with successful people, they will tell you it's lonely at the top. And when you'll hear these things over and over and over again, and we always say, I want to find out for myself. That's understandable. I mean, who wouldn't? We all want to find out for ourselves. But part of it is you have to be willing to have the perspective of, am I willing to do what it takes? Am I willing to walk alone in order to get the dream that I want, in order to have what I say I want, in order to put my family first? Am I willing to not hang out as much or not get caught up in the wrong crowds or groups? Are these people elevating me, or are they keeping me where I'm at? Because the bottom line is, if they're bringing you down or keeping you where you're at, same thing. You're not growing. You're not getting closer to where you want to be. If they aren't forcing you to elevate your game, your level of thinking, the way you do things, then you're not going anywhere. That's where that void in your heart is coming from. It's because you are an eagle. You do want to soar. Maybe you're just afraid to stand and do what it takes to find it on your own. Maybe you think you're not good enough. I don't know what it is, but you have to figure that out. You have to figure out what you want, how bad you want it, and what you're willing to do in order to make it happen. Having an eagle's perspective is the first step in understanding what you want, because you can set your eyes on it. You can see it. You can look at it from afar and say, am I willing to do the work to actually make this happen? Am I willing to make some sacrifices? Am I willing to really just put everything I got into this? Do I want it that bad? Why do I want this? And once you answer all of those questions, then the next step is, you got that eagle perspective. Then we're going to talk about having that lion's heart, because that's the next step in the puzzle. But first, decide, are you a pigeon or an eagle?